Hello, welcome parents to a little open house video. It's going to be a little brief, but that's okay. It's probably better for you anyways. As I mentioned in the video that went out on Friday, I coach JV boys soccer, and we have an away game at Buffalo this evening. So I'll be getting back right around the time the conference open house closes. So I just want to basically just spend a minute or two introducing myself, and then sharing a little bit about what the day is like for your kids in my physics class. So anyways, I live in Chaska. I think I may have mentioned that on Friday. I have 3 kids and a wife. One son out of college, one a senior year in college, and one a freshman in high school. And so I have a kind of a range, but it's fun, and I want to take a little bit of time to go through what I would want to know if I was in your shoes. Is what's my kids' day like when they come into class? Maybe more so this year than in years past. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen with you, which I do this a lot during the course of the day, toggling back to split screen to full screen to whatever. It's a work in progress on my end, I'll tell you that. So basically, this is my Schoology page. Right here is where they log in every day for the Zoom meeting, which is our class. So if they're at home or if they're here, I have them log into this Zoom meeting so that we can put people into what we call breakout rooms. Because I may have 10 students here in class, like Monday, for example, we had 10 kids in class, and I decided to do a lab. So I made 5 lab stations. I took those 10 kids and put 2 of them in each of those 5 breakout rooms. And then I assigned the other kids that were either in group B at home or online at home, and I then assigned them to the breakout rooms. So in the data part, collecting the data in the lab, every group had at least 2 people that were in class that were collecting data and sharing that data with the rest of the class. In that lab, it was nice because they were able to share their screen, and their screen was their data collector. So they were collecting data on their screen through an interface, a motion detector basically is what we were using. And so they were able to see the graph being generated while they perform different functions in front of this motion detector, walking away slowly or fast or whatever. And so the kids at home could see it, and then they also shared their video camera on their laptop, so they actually could see the motions that produced the graph that they saw on their screen. So actually worked fairly well, but just one thing that I'm trying to do as many labs as we can. It's a very lab-intensive curriculum, and there's some that we're just maybe not going to be able to do, but I'm trying to do as many as we possibly can. But here's my page. So they go to that Zoom meeting. There's some resources up here for them. But as you see, I have a folder for every day. And for example, Tuesday the 15th, we had a test. So this is what that looks like. So they open this folder, and there's an outline for every day. And so on that day, we basically just reviewed for a little bit, and then we took the test. Okay, so that's pretty much what we did that day. And let me see if I can get back here. My little, there we go, going back. So here's the test. So they would click on the test, and they have all the questions, and this is my view. So I have the settings. I could turn on the test or turn off the test. It's a little different for your kids, but that's basically what that test icon looks like, in case and they know that already. It's been used before. But so let me move this to like what we did today, or Monday. This is being filmed on Monday. So our lab for the day today, this is the lab report that I took a screenshot of our lab manual and put that on there for them. They had a lab that we did last week that they shared data on in their groups and breakout rooms, and then today is when it was due. So they'll have a submission tab icon that they would click on when that due date is, and then they would submit on a PDF. They would submit their lab report. So outline, just for an example, outline for that what we did today. Just we discussed a few questions. We did the lab. This is what we had to do in the lab, and then there was a homework assignment. This is what their homework assignment typically looks like. So there's a textbook online, and let me show you what that looks like as well. We started this chapter on Friday, or the text was assigned on Friday. So it's right here, a little PDF of the textbook, so that you can see what that looks like. And this way you can tell your kids that I know exactly what your textbook looks like. And so it's basically just an online version. They have homework at the end of each chapter, and I'll just scroll through this chapter really quick so that you can see what their homework pages look like. So this is just the context of the curriculum. And then at the end of the chapter is where I assign the homework questions, and the students will know when we've reached the end of the chapter, because the pages, instead of being white pages, they become blue pages. So here's a little review page, and then there's all the questions that I will assign here. The answers to the questions are right here, which I don't necessarily care for so much. So what I encourage the kids to do is to cover up that margin on their textbook, do their homework, and then use this as a reference. I mean, we go over the questions, so I'm not concerned so much about them whether they get it right, because they'll know the correct answers, once we go over the questions. But this way they can check their work. But it doesn't pay for them to use this and then look at it at the same time. They're not going to learn as much. So I would encourage you to encourage them also to cover up that margin and do your homework, and then just know that you can always check. And I also tell them if they have a problem on any of the items in the homework, to they're writing this on a piece of paper, is to just circle it or highlight it or put a star next to it, so that in class when I say, did you have any homework or questions on your homework assignment last night, they can quickly just look down and find that with that starred item or those two starred items, and they could ask a question. Whether they're in person or they're online, they can unmute themselves and just say, yeah, could you go over question number 10? What is the meaning of free fall? I didn't get that. So something like that. So that's what the textbook looks like. We have a test about once a week, maybe a little over a week. We're trying to slow things down just a little bit so that it doesn't bury anybody. Some people struggle with the technology piece, and they may not get as much because they might be blocked out one day or something like that. So we're trying to go a little bit slower than we normally would for that purpose, but still we have a fair amount to get through. So like I said, this is there's going to be a folder for every day. So if they miss a day, they just go in and, oh yeah, I missed last Thursday. They just click on Thursday and they have the homework assignment and everything there, and when the labs are submitted and homework is submitted. Homework is due on every day of the test. So like last Tuesday when we had that test on chapters 2 and 3, that's when they submitted their homework. So I believe that is about all I need. If you have any questions or concerns, individual questions or concerns particular to your son or daughter, please don't hesitate to drop me an email or what have you, and that's probably the best way to reach me, and I will respond to you as soon as I can. So hope you have a good rest of your open house, and we'll be in touch with you soon.